Good morning and thank you so much for joining us on the Tuesday edition of TVC Breakfast. We're here again to give you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita.
Indeed, good morning, my neighbors. This is TVC Breakfast, the only morning show you have to be every day, Monday to Friday. Thank you for joining us. My name is Nelson Eta.
And on that note, good morning, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. It's another beautiful Tuesday morning where we get to update you on everything happening in our very beloved country, Nigeria. There's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. I'm Ria Abdul. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Nigerians. We're about to start the conversations on issues that are important to you. We're going to lay it bare. My name is Biodu Show.
All right, absolutely. Good morning, Nelson. Good morning.
The lady and the man in black.
That's right. When I said my neighbors.
Said good morning, my neighbors. I remember
You're my neighbor.
She's my neighbor.
That's what came to my mind as well. Well, good morning, Nelson. Good to have you. How are you doing?
Nigerians are our neighbors. I'm doing absolutely good.
And the fact, oh yes, we miss Olamide because that's her seat. So yes, we miss her.
Right.
But you know, it's so. I'm the only lady on the table now.
Oh, no.
You feel good?
Olamide, come back really fast.
I have you covered, Ria. You know, I'm wearing black, so you know, hey.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
By the way, you look good. I love the white pearl.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great.
All right, let's go. A very good morning, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you join us each morning as we get to talk about issues affecting our beloved country, Nigeria. Now, I'll give you a rundown of what we're doing on the show this morning. At some point, Ibrahim will bring us all the headlines that have made it to the newspaper. We get to dissect it right here on the show. Later on, we'll be talking about something very, very important. We're talking about national development, something that you definitely have to keep your fingers crossed for that very important conversation. A guest will join us. Then later, we will take you to Abuja where we speak about the PDP and some court cases. As always, we'll talk about that in Abuja. And then we'll come back to Lagos where Nelson will bring us everything trending in the world of social media and more with Trending Now. So I implore you to please grab that cup of coffee and let's have a very fantastic show. Now, we will start with the story. A 3-bedroom bungalow used as a hideout by abductors of the younger sister of former Minister of Power, Adelabu, and her 2 twin sons, located in Lako Community in Ibadan, has been demolished. Now, the exercise was carried out by a team led by the Commissioner for Works and Transport. There's more in this report.
Barely 24 hours after the visit of the Commissioner of Police and his team to the hideout used by the kidnappers who abducted Mrs. Olaide John Paul, the Oyo State Government has taken a further step by demolishing the building. Residents of the Lako Community along Aiyegun and Anaye Road witnessed the demolition of the 3-bedroom bungalow, which was carried out by officials of the Oyo State Ministry of Public Works and Transport, accompanied by police operatives. The Commissioner of Works asked landlords, housing agents and residents to be vigilant about their areas and tenants, as well as alert the government on any suspicious movement or criminal activities.
This is just the beginning of, telling people that if you see something, you need to say something. And this is a strong advice and this is a strong warning on the people of Oyo State, the good citizens, that we should be very careful of the kind of tenants or the kind of people we bring into our properties.
Vice Chairman of the Landlords Association of the community revealed that the occupant of the 3-bedroom bungalow rented the apartment recently, adding that they always returned late in the night and used to be away for days. It was less than a month ago that they rented the apartment. As an association, we carried out the necessary documentation and submitted it to the lawyer. The owner of the house is a woman who had already sold the property. The suspects usually returned home late at night and were sometimes away from the house for several days. As the Oyo State Government took the bold step to demolish the criminal hideout, authorities are calling on residents and landlords to be more vigilant, monitor suspicious activities in their communities, and exercise caution when renting out their properties. Oluyole, TVC News, Ibadan.
All right, you're still watching TVC Breakfast. Very, fantastic reports there. If you ask me, I'll say this is a step in the right direction. This is a conversation we're going to be having this morning. And for me, I believe that the bringing down of this house is very, very symbolic. It's telling us that, in Nigeria, we are not condoning any form of, criminal hideout. And we're listening to the story. He was speaking Yoruba, but I could pick a little bit out of it. They rented the house, just a month ago. They go out in the night, they come back late. And it just puts us on, as, tenants, what's the responsibility we have. If you see shady things happening, in your area, you're going to report to the police, because if you don't report to the police, it means you yourself, you're part of the crime. So, Mr. Shomi, I want us to touch from the part of, tenants giving out, landlords giving out houses to people without even doing proper checks. Even if proper checks are done, do we go further to make sure that the people we give houses to are actually upright individuals?
Or the people actually living there? Because someone else could obtain a property from an estate agent, and then you ended up finding someone else living there. Yes. This is a bit complex in the sense that landlords quite often, if they don't live in the same premises, tend to find it extremely difficult to ascertain who actually lives in the property. Once you've given a property out, you can't keep going there, on a weekly basis to check who is still living in that property.
I mean, they're not children.
It's not practicable. The real issue is that the demolition, it is right to demolish houses used by kidnappers and their safe houses. I agree with that principle, but we also must realize that we live within the rule of law, and we are in a democracy governed by the rule of law.
That's right.
I would want to believe that one of three things could have happened. One is either there is a court order, empowering the government to do that. Two, is either there is another, maybe directive, executive directive, or the building itself does not have the necessary papers, So on the strength of any of those three, the government could easily move in and demolish it.
Yeah, but Nelson, let me come to you with this one. Yes, of course, I know that it's not the responsibility of the landlord to go there every day to check on them because they are not kids. But also the tenants as well. What are you doing to report things that you see or you're living around the place? I've reported my neighbor so many times. I'm sorry, I don't know if he's watching. If I see you do something illegal, I would go ahead and report you. So we also need to cultivate that habit of, just making sure that the people around us as well are upright.
I have a lot to say, Ria, but I'll try to pick one or two out of my head. First of all, this is really important because Shomi was talking about three things. One out of three things should have been done. But I'm also thinking that after the government have demolished this house, if they at the end of the day find out that the landlord has no hand in the criminality, then this man has lost a property. So they have to find a way of compensating him for that. That's on one hand. Now, for tenants, it's about the value of the society. It's about the ideology with which we live in, which is reflective in the policy and the politics of our country. If you look at the APC, the PDP, and all of them names, if you want, what exactly is the driving force behind our politicking in the country? That is what is reflective in our society, because the kind of leaders we also have in positions reflects the kind of minds we have generally in the country. And so when you talk about that, a neighbor or a tenant ought to be watchful to report criminal activities by fellow tenants. It also reflects our government positions. Do I tell when you steal 100 billion naira, or do I want to have a share in it? That's what happens.
Ibrahim, let's this is a very, very interesting conversation, because if we follow the story from when the former Minister of Power, Adelabu's sister and her twin sons were kidnapped, a lot of conversations were brought on social media. They are released a lot of conversations on social media as well. But people are saying this as a step in the right direction. That, this is a criminal hideout. We've brought it down. We need to bring down more criminal hideouts. But Nelson has just read a very critical point. What if the landlord does not know about this totally? He has lost the property as well.
So that's the business of the landlord. Whenever you're bringing in anyone to you're renting out your apartment to anyone, you're supposed to do your due diligence.
Yeah, but what if somebody rented on behalf of that? It's very dicey.
So there's a law that you do not, even the landlord in an agreement will make you sign that you do not sublet your building to any other person. Do you understand? So that's why you, as a landlord or as a caretaker or as an agent, you're supposed to always pay attention to whatever activities go on in your properties. So it's not out of place. And there is an executive order in Oyo State, because even the the government owns, controls the Land Use Act. When it comes to Land Use Act, I think it's a federal government
land use decree of 1970.
Yeah, so where you own something, you own your property for like 99 years or thereabouts. Yeah. So that's was within Oluyole Local Government.
Yes,
that place is not a secluded area.
It's not. So they were very bold to even do that kind of thing.
So it goes beyond saying, it is Boko Haram or bandits or ISWAP that are kidnapping. Yeah. People are now doing this within Lagos State. Yeah. I remember there was a day we were coming to the office in the morning. I think I was in the same car with one of our producers, Nene. Yeah. And we parked somewhere. We wanted to buy fuel. And we were not sure, so we just had to park. And some police pulled over, in front of us, and they said, "What were we doing?" They said we should wind down and all of that. And we're asking, "Why were you harassing us?" They said they were chasing kidnappers. That's to let you know that even in Lagos, it is not safe. Yeah. So anywhere we find ourselves, we have to pay attention to our surroundings.
So I agree to that due diligence matter. But the question here is, how much of diligence can you do? We sublet properties. So a tenant comes, fills all the forms, goes all the kind of checks. Yeah. But boy, you are not in this pocket.
I know, we can go on and on about this.
I think the key issue is, if you see something,
exactly.
say
That's
something.
what I want to hammer on. Like I said, and I'm saying it again, I've reported my neighbors so many times. If you see something and you feel it's not right, please go to the authorities and report. We're in a very, very critical stage, so it's very important that anything you see that is dangerous around you, in your house, in your vicinity, go out and let the authorities know. All right, we will take a breather now, and when we come back, it will be time for the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. It's TVC Breakfast.